Why are you still at work, Skylar? You're usually home by 5:15, and it's already 5:20. That's 5 minutes late. What are you doing sneaking around behind my back? Come home and prepare my dinner now. It's not gonna cook itself, you know.
Honey, I'm heading to the car park now. I stayed a little late to finish up some work, but I'm all done now. I'll be home before you know it. Please be a little more patient.
Yeah, I would be a fool to believe you. Come up with better excuses next time you're staying late to flirt with your male coworkers. You clearly don't have any sense of shame, do you? A promiscuous woman like you should have never become a wife in the first place.
Honey, I'm confused. What are you talking about? I've never flirted with another man since we got married. You know very clearly that I would never do anything to hurt you or our marriage.
Yeah, I already figured that you wouldn't admit to your sins, but it's understandable. The guilty flee when no man pursueth. That's what they always say. I guess honesty is not one of your family traits after all.
Please, Thomas. I've already told you that I didn't do anything shady behind your back. Why don't you just believe me for once? Please don't accuse me of something so serious without any evidence to support your claim.
Evidence? I don't need any evidence to claim that everything I said is true. I am the evidence. What were you thinking, wearing that skirt to work today? It was so short that I'm surprised you didn't flash everyone. Dare to tell me that you didn't wear that skirt to work today to tease the men in your office? Do you really think that's an appropriate attire for the office? You're not a child. You're a grown woman. Start acting like it.
Thomas, honey, it's a totally normal pencil skirt, and it falls below the knee. My colleagues wear pencil skirts all the time to work, so why am I being told that I can't wear them? I mean, even my bosses don't have anything against it. Please don't be too harsh on me, Thomas.
They are not bothered by your outfit because they are only interested in your body. The shorter you're dressed, the more they will enjoy looking at you. You are being used as a source of entertainment for the jerks at your office, you fool. Why do I always have to lay everything on the table for you like that? Next time, please use your brain to understand the situation better.
What are you even saying? Don't just assume that everyone thinks the way you do. My colleagues and bosses are all decent people who respect me. In fact, I believe they respect me even more than you do, Thomas. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying what you just said.
Gosh, we've been husband and wife for nearly 3 years, and I'm still amazed at how naive you can be. They don't respect you. They're just seeing you as a doll to be played with, and then discarded later on. Don't you see? I'm the only one who you can trust, and my love for you is unparalleled.
Please don't say that, honey. My bosses and coworkers aren't anything like you said. I know you love me, honey, but you don't have to be too worried about the guys at my work. Most of them are already married, so there's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah, I know, but better safe than sorry. Anyways, I've already installed a GPS tracker on your phone, so I will know if you go anywhere other than your workplace or your home. I'm monitoring each and every one of your movements. That's why don't even attempt to go anywhere else without telling me firsthand.
What? When did you do that? And why didn't you say anything to me? Don't you think it's already a little too much?
Well, not very long ago, actually. But don't get me wrong, I just did it out of good intentions, you know? All I want is to watch over you and keep you safe. The world can be a dangerous place, and it's important to be vigilant and aware of the potential for danger.
Well, but as you mentioned earlier, I'm a grown woman now, so I'm pretty sure that I know what I'm doing. I appreciate your good thoughts, but you don't have to be too protective over me like that, Thomas. To be honest, it makes me feel like you're invading my privacy.
Invading your privacy? How dare you even say that to me? When you're the one who's constantly trying to hit on other guys. I'm just trying to protect you from all the possible threats out there. Especially the sickos who want to take advantage of your naivety.
I know, but this is a little too much, baby. The other day, I even caught you checking on my mobile and web browser history. I reckon it happened not just one time. I agreed to let you know the passwords and have access to my devices in case of emergency. But please don't use that as an excuse to pry into my personal life. I appreciate your care and concern, But I need you to respect my privacy as well.
So now I'm getting berated for trying to protect you? Well, maybe I should just neglect you like my friend John did to his wife. Now look where they are now. They're fighting in court because John's wife accused him of not taking enough care of the household and ignoring her feelings. And you're just here being ungrateful and taking my kindness for granted.
Honey, I know you care about me and want to keep me safe, but I feel like you're trying to micromanage every little thing in my life. We're married and we should be able to trust each other. I don't want to spend the whole day feeling like I'm being watched or tracked.
So now you're calling me out for taking care of you, huh? You're accusing me of controlling your life. If I was trying to control you, you would be staying home 24/7 instead of walking around and talking down to me like this.
What are you saying, honey? I'm talking to you with the utmost composure that I can have. However, don't you think it's a little unfair that you didn't even let me go out with my friends or colleagues? I'm not even allowed to go to family gatherings either. Why do you get to do all kinds of things you want and I don't?
Hey, don't aggravate everything and try to guilt trip me like that. I never said that you couldn't go. In fact, it's you who chose not to do that.
I didn't go because I knew you would bombard my phone with numerous texts and calls. I know you're coming from a place of love, but I need you to respect my boundaries too. I need to be able to go out with my friends without feeling like I have to check in with you every hour. I need to be able to go to work without feeling like you're going to call me every 5 minutes to see where I am.
Fine, I'll leave you in peace if you wish so. Before marrying you, I used to have girls lining up at my doorstep begging me to go out with them. I'm a successful, good-looking business executive who ticks off all the boxes of an ideal man. And you're nothing but an ordinary office clerk. Honestly, I could have left you any minute if I wanted to, but I didn't because I love you. I chose you to be my wife, so you should be more grateful for what you have. Skylar, get home immediately. Explain to me, why am I not seeing you at home yet? It's already past 8. Are you gonna leave me here all night waiting for you?
Honey, I mentioned earlier today that I'll be attending a farewell party for my former boss who is retiring. It would be totally rude and inconsiderate of me to decline, so I'll be going. I'm sorry, I won't be able to cook dinner tonight. You can order takeout or go out to eat, whichever the case. Besides, I know you're tracking my phone, so you can already know that I'm not going anywhere I shouldn't be.
I know you already texted me, but did I agree to let you go? No, so now my approval doesn't even matter anymore. Now you just think that you can do what you want without checking with me first, huh? I'm only nothing but a complete stranger in your eyes, correct?
I didn't say that, honey. I'm not sure where you got that idea, but it's simply not true. Please don't put words in my mouth, and please don't be too vigilant about my schedule. I'm your wife, not your enemy, to be tracked down nearly 24 hours a day.
Good questioning. But what forced me to become more vigilant, huh? It's you. You're the one who's full of tricks and always wants to deceive.
Thomas, you know I would never do anything to mislead you.
Are you sure? What about that time you tricked me by giving your phone to your coworkers so that you can sneak away to your sister's house without me knowing about it?
What? I didn't do that. Please don't accuse me of something I didn't do.
You didn't do it? Are you sure? Do you want me to call that coworker over to our home so we can have a fair and square confrontation between the three of us? What's his name? Oh, Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. Judging by the look on his face, he's more than thrilled to help you cover your dirty deed. Need I send you a picture of you handing over your phone to Oscar as proof?
How did you figure that out?
Well, it's not that difficult, really. I just hired a private detective following you everywhere you go. In fact, I've even bribed some of your coworkers to keep me updated about you. It's really quite clever if I do say so myself. Now you know it, so don't even think about doing anything stupid to deceive me again from now on.
Thomas, I am a grown adult, and I know that I'm allowed to see my sister, parents, or any of my blood relatives without you checking in on me every few minutes. I am not a child, and I do not need to be monitored. I am well aware of my rights and I have never done anything to violate them.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, you're raising your voice at me, huh? I guess you still remember what happened the last couple of times you played tricks on me.
Please, don't remind me about it again, please.
I guess the bruises on your neck are still visible. Nice try covering it with a high neck shirt, but you aren't fooling anyone. I must admit, you look even more attractive with that cut I made on your face. It's quite deep, don't you think? How about removing that first aid bandage on your face for people to see? I guess no other men would want to get near and flirt with you after seeing it.
Please, you know I would go through a panic attack if you keep talking about it. I'm starting to feel hard to breathe already, Thomas.
To be honest, I quite enjoy the way you resisted when I shoved your face in the sink full of water. You're quite a tough girl, aren't you?
Thomas, your controlling and abusive behaviors are unacceptable and need to stop.
If you think you've had enough of me, why don't you just file a divorce and walk out of our marriage already?
You know I don't want to and I can't do that.
Of course you wouldn't dare divorce me. You know your parents would never forgive you. They'd give you a severe dressing down, and you'd probably never be allowed to set foot in their house again. And then where would you go? Living in a dumpster. I thought so.
You're becoming more and more violent, Thomas. I am your wife, not a possession that you can control or torture whatever way you want. In fact, I am a human being with my own thoughts, feelings, and desires. I deserve to be treated with respect, not like a puppet that you can manipulate.
Skylar, after all this, you still insist on denying my immense love for you. I can go to great lengths just to keep you safe from all the bad guys that surround you. Shouldn't you be happy about that? Listen, I know that I can be a bit overprotective sometimes, and I'm sorry for that. But it's only because I treasure you so much. I can't even imagine my life without you. So can you please just be a docile wife and do everything I tell you?
Well, I am happy that you're able to recognize your own mistake. I'm just hoping you can become less abusive and be a good husband in the strict sense of the word, so that we don't have to argue about this again. One more thing, please stop ringing up my phone. I'll be home by 10 p.m.
Sure, you have my words, darling. You know I love you more than anything in the world. Skylar, you aren't working today, but you're not at home either. What is this all about? Explain to me right now, or else I won't promise that you'll be safe and sound when you get home.
Thomas, don't you remember? My company organized a picnic today. I'm on my way to the picnic site to lend a hand in the preparations for the event. I thought I already gave you my working schedule for this month, so you should be able to find out about it yourself.
Picnic, huh? Oh, I see. Are you sure you're not lying again this time? Listen, I don't want to get tough with you, but if I find out that you've been up to something behind my back again, I'll make sure that you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
I know, Thomas. I'm well aware of that. I'm sorry for disobeying you the last couple of times. But all I wanted was a little bit of fresh air, you know? Our marriage has become more and more like a burden to me.
Look, honey, I'm so sorry if I make it feel that way to you. I promise I'll change for the better, only if you agree to do as I tell you, and no questions asked. I know I can be a bit overprotective, but you have to admit, you've been living the life of luxury since we got married. I've given you everything you could ever want. From designer clothes and jewelry to a fleet of luxury cars. What more could an ordinary girl like you ask for?
Yes, I got it now. I'll strictly follow whatever you say from now on, but I would appreciate it if you would talk to me in a more reasonable way.
That's my good girl. Yes, I promise to use only gentle and loving language when I speak to you from this moment on. Have a great time with your colleagues then.
I will. Thank you.
One more thing, don't talk with Oscar. I know that he doesn't have good intentions towards you. In fact, his eyes were glued to your chest every time he looked at you, which even further claims that he's nothing but a perv. I only met him one time, and I already dislike him.
Don't say such a thing about Oscar. He's a good person, honey. He helped me a lot of times with my work. Besides, he's also a technology geek. I reckon his one and only interest is developing software day in and day out. But Are you really okay to let me go on a picnic like that?
I told you last time that you'll have more freedom to do the things you like, didn't I?
So you did change after all. I'm so proud of you. I promise you that I'll be home as soon as possible. Love you, hon.
Skylar, you're not at the picnic area. You witch! You're going somewhere else. Guess once a liar, always a liar, huh? I knew that I could never trust a promiscuous broad like you.
What are you saying, Thomas? I'm at the picnic site. Did you check your tracking app?
How could I even trust that stupid app anymore? You're just gonna hand your phone to someone else and ask them to bring it along to the picnic site? I'm not that easy to fool. Don't even think about using that trick on me again.
Well, last time, you said that you bribed my coworkers so that they can inform you immediately if I make any suspicious activity. Why don't you ask them now? You even said that you even hired a private detective to keep an eye on me whenever I leave the house, correct? Just contact them and ask where I am now.
But they're all claiming that you're at the location where the picnic will be held. They even sent me pictures of you as proof. Wait a minute. Did you give them some money so they can turn their back on me and take your side? I can tell for a fact that these people are definitely lying.
Why are you so sure about that?
Because I'm in your trunk, idiot. I have been tracking you off since the moment you set foot out of the house.
What? You're in my car trunk? Are you out of your mind? How could you come up with such a crazy idea?
It's you who forced me to do this. You leave me no choice. You're getting better and better at concealing your lies. The location you shared with me on the tracking app shows that you are at the picnic site. But my phone's location tracking indicates that your car is heading to a different direction. This can only mean one thing. You're lying to me. Again! You handed someone else your phone to deceive me into believing that you're actually going to the picnic. But in reality, you are covertly absconding to engage in infidelity.
Thomas, please think more rationally, will you? You already checked with the detective and my colleagues, and they all confirmed that they see me at the designated spot for the picnic. What else do you want? Do you need me to personally take some pictures of myself and send them to you?
That's impossible. My phone's tracking has never been wrong before. But how can you drive the car and be at the picnic at the same time? Something is definitely out of place.
Oh, Thomas, you think you're such a genius. But I just proved that you can be easily misled by a little child's game.
What? What are you saying? Quit fooling around with me. I'm not in the mood for that.
Can you see? It's not me who's driving the car. Oscar is helping me drive it. I'm actually at the picnic place just like I told you. I knew you pretended to go to work, but in reality, you were hiding in my car trunk to follow me around. That's why I called Oscar over and asked him to replace me and drive my car. After that, I used Oscar's car to drive to the picnic location. Great plan, isn't it?
You what? How did you figure out that I was in your car trunk? That's impossible. I'm sure I covered my tracks very carefully. I even erased every possible trail.
Thomas, this time it's your own skepticism that betrayed you. Do you remember the last time you demanded a couple pictures of myself to prove that I was at the company? Oscar helped me attach a spyware to that file. When you downloaded the file on your phone, the spyware allows me to access your phone's GPS and track your location. That's how I found out about you hiding in my car trunk.
What? So you've been spying on me this whole time? That's unacceptable.
Do you know what's even more interesting, Thomas? Oscar is driving you directly to the police station. I'm not afraid of you anymore. You will soon be held accountable for your crimes.
What crime? I haven't done anything wrong.
The scars and bruises on my body are a testament to your violence. Not only that, the emotional damage you inflicted on me is just as real as the physical damage. You loved me so much that you tortured me and treated me like a possession. Honestly, it disgusts me every time you say that you love me.
Tell your friend to stop the car and let me out. I'm not kidding. I'll make you pay a heavy price for double-crossing me. Forcing someone to go to the police station is a crime, you know.
Fine, I'll tell Oscar to let you out of the car trunk. In the end, we just wanted to frighten you a little bit. But I advise you to prepare for our next meeting, which will take place in a court of law, of course. You may get away with this now, but you will not be able to escape what is coming for you next. For a long time, Thomas was verbally and physically abusive towards me. I had tried to leave him several times, but he always found a way to manipulate me into coming back. With the help of Oscar, I finally gathered the strength to leave Thomas for good. I filed for divorce and pressed charges against Thomas for domestic abuse. The trial wasn't easy, but I was determined to tell my story. I testified about the years of abuse I had suffered, and I even showed the jury the scars that Thomas had left on my body. In the end, the jury found Thomas guilty, and he was sentenced to prison. After years of living in fear of Thomas, I am now completely free. Oscar has been a great help in my journey to heal from past trauma. He showed me how to open up again, to let go of Thomas' dreadful words and actions, which once haunted me every time I closed my eyes. I'm very pleased to announce that I am now happily married to Oscar. We have 2 children together, and we are a strong and loving family. I hope to become an inspiration to other survivors of domestic abuse, because I know firsthand that it is possible to overcome abuse and find happiness.